Today we are going to study about the hexadecimal number system. As we studied the binary and denary number systems, today it is all about hexadecimal. So firstly, it is a base 16 number. Just like binary was base 2 number, 0 and 1. Denary was base 10 number from 0 to 9. Hexadecimal is base 16 number, which means we can make a hexadecimal number using 16 different combinations of 0 to 9 and A to F characters. But why do we use hexadecimal if there is binary number system to process data? It takes fewer digits to represent a given value in hexadecimal than in binary. One hexadecimal digit corresponds 4 bits, 1 nibble, and can represent 16 unique values, 0 to F. Okay, so what does it mean? This is 1 bit in binary. These are 4 bits in binary. 4 bits is equal to 1 nibble, and 8 bits till here. This whole is known as 1 byte. However, the 4 bits of binary is equal to 1 character of hexadecimal. It means that this whole long binary number can be just represented as D2AF in hexadecimal. That is why we use hexadecimal number, because the binary number system is very long for us to interpret. So we use hexadecimal number system because it is much more simpler to understand and decode, and for us humans to read and interpret them. One more downside of the binary number is that, for example, I want to copy this whole number down. There is a possibility that I invert these bits, or there would be an error if I copy this down, and अगर इसकी कोई एक भी bit मुझसे गलत हो गई, the whole number will change its value. However, if I represent the same binary number into hexadecimal, which is D2AF, there are less chances of error. Like if I copied this down, D2AF, I can clearly see if I made an error or not. So that's why we use hexadecimal number, because in binary number they are more prone to errors when being copied. Now we're going to study a few examples of real life scenarios in which we use hexadecimal. Now, before we understand that how did we even convert this whole binary number into this hexadecimal number, let's first look at the examples where we use it. Okay, so the first one is the error codes. What is error codes? For example, this is my program and I'm going to create a game using codes. So I'm going to write many lines of code here, alright? However, इस game को बनाने में या इस software को बनाने में there are many errors in my program. So यहाँ पे नीचे एक terminal होगा जहाँ पर मेरे errors show होंगे. However, the errors can be represented as hexadecimal values rather than 0, 1, 0, 1, you know. So it's much more easier for me to understand in hexadecimal rather than long binary digits of zeros and ones. So this was the first example of where would we use hexadecimal. The second example would be in the use of MAC addresses. What is MAC addresses? First, let me tell you. So every device that you use, your mobile, your computer, and every device in this whole world that everyone uses is uniquely identified. हर डिवाइस की अपनी एक एड्रेस होती है जिसको हम MAC address बोलते हैं. Why do we use MAC address? Just to identify that this device is unique from another one, okay? But these addresses that we use in MAC, they are written in hexadecimal, alright? So that's the second use of hexadecimal. The third one is IP addresses. Now every internet that you're connected to, it contains an IP address as well, which is also represented using hexadecimal, जैसे कि A, B, C. Like this is a typical example of hexadecimal. We are going to study कि ये हम कैसे convert कर सकते हैं. Now the last is HTML color codes. Whenever we make web pages, whenever you access a website, it is written in the HTML language, alright? जो भी आप website access करते हैं, you see different font colors, right? You see different colors across the website. Those colors can be represented using hexadecimal. For example here, hashtag FF0000, it represents red. Hashtag 00FF00 represents green. इसी तरह हर कलर का अपना एक अलग hexadecimal code होता है that we can use to make websites and yes, like that. So this was just an introduction to hexadecimal and where it is used. It is often very asked in your exams that why do we use hexadecimal? These are the examples and what are the benefits. Here we all read it, and this was all and just an introduction. We are going to study more about the conversion in later videos.